Let's stay on this for a minute, because I think most people have never heard the word elicitation before, but they've probably had it used on them without knowing it. Right, and that's the whole point of the technique. It's invisible by design. The formal definition is simple. Elicitation is the strategic use of casual conversation to extract information from someone without them realizing they're being questioned. No interrogation room, no clipboard, no obvious ask, just talking. And the reason it works is because questions put people on alert. Guessed. Exactly. The human brain has a kind of built-in filter for direct questions, especially about anything personal, money, health, relationships, work problems. The moment someone asks, "How much do you make?" a little flag goes up. Why do they want to know that? But statements don't trip that same wire. Statements feel like conversation, so the skilled elicitor almost never asks anything. They just talk and let the other person fill in the gaps. Walk me through the toolkit. You mentioned correcting the record last time. Give me the rest of it. Sure, there are really 5 or 6 reliable levers, and once you know them, you'll start noticing them everywhere. The first is correcting the record. People have an almost reflexive urge to fix inaccurate information, especially about something they know intimately, their own job, their own life. I heard baristas here start at $22 an hour gets you, no, it's actually $17, faster than any direct question ever could, because now the other person isn't answering you, they're setting you straight. That feels completely different internally, even though the outcome is identical. Instead of asking when, you offer a range and let them narrow it. I'm guessing you guys are relocating sometime between March and June? People rarely just confirm a bracket. They correct it to the actual answer, because leaving a wrong range hanging feels sloppy to them. Actually, it's February, but don't spread that around. Now you have a specific month and a hint that it's not public yet, and you never asked a single question. The third is disbelief, or what I call the no way technique. You express mild skepticism about something impressive or difficult they've done. There's no way that trip went off without a single problem. Nobody wants to be seen as having had it easy, so they'll usually volunteer the complication just to prove the skepticism was justified. Disbelief is one of the strongest levers because it appeals to ego. People want credit for what was hard. This is a cousin of correcting the record, but more specific. You get a technical detail slightly wrong on purpose in a domain where the other person has expertise. Engineers, tradespeople, and specialists in particular cannot let a wrong detail about their own field sit uncorrected. Isn't that the model with the 40-gallon tank? No, it's 50, and here's why that actually matters. And now they're explaining their whole system to you. The fifth is the flattery, then pause. You offer a genuine-sounding compliment about their judgment or competence. Then go quiet. You clearly know this business better than most people who've been here twice as long. Silence after a compliment is uncomfortable, and people tend to fill it, often with exactly the kind of insider detail that shows they do know the business that well. And the sixth is assumed insider status. You speak as though you already have some baseline knowledge, even if you don't, which makes the other person feel safe filling in details rather than starting from scratch. So when the layoffs happen next quarter, is it going to be by department or seniority? Even if there's no confirmed plan, you'll often get a real answer because they assume you already know the headline and are just asking about the mechanics. That's a lot more than I expected. Is there a rule of thumb for which one to use? Yes, match the lever to how sensitive the information is. Bracketing and correcting the record work well for numbers and timelines. Disbelief and flattery work better for effort, achievement, or status. Anything ego adjacent. And the deliberate error only works if you actually understand the subject well enough to be convincingly wrong. If you're not close to accurate, people just get confused instead of correcting you. So how does someone protect themselves from this? Because now I feel like I've probably given away my own information 100 times without noticing. Almost everyone has. The defense isn't paranoia. You can't run a threat model on every conversation at Whole Foods. It's pattern recognition. There are 3 tells worth watching for. 1. A stranger or new acquaintance makes a confident, specific claim about your job, your company, or your life that you didn't offer. Confident specificity from someone who shouldn't have that specificity is the biggest tell. 2. Notice your own urge to correct someone. That urge itself is a signal. Before you jump in with, "Actually, no," pause half a second and ask whether the correction is necessary, or whether you're about to hand someone information for free. 3. Watch for silence after a compliment. If someone praises you and then just waits, that's often intentional. You don't have to fill every silence. So the fix is basically just noticing you're being handled. Guessed. That's most of it. Once you know the mechanism, you regain the choice. You can still correct the record if you want to. You just do it deliberately instead of reflexively. That's the whole game. Elicitation works because it bypasses conscious choice. The moment you're conscious of it, it mostly stops working on you.